Okay, built a new drone. This is a HexaCopter. Some particulars about it are that it's using a 5200 milliamp hour battery. It's 380 grams, which is pretty heavy. It's a LiPo 3S, 11.1 volts. All 6 motors are 1000 kV. We have a new flight controller that we're using. It's a Pixhawk Mini 6C, and we have a new transmitter and receiver. The transmitter is using spread spectrum technology, so is the receiver, and interaction between the receiver and the flight controller, it's using an S-Bus interface, which is very different from the last drone. So just gotten through calibrations with the sensors,
flight mode.
and we're in stabilized flight mode, and we're going to attempt our first flight right now.
Arm.
Flight's going really well. Controls are very responsive. Despite being a really heavy battery, it's got good lift characteristics, good thrust. Pretty stable too. I'm going to switch flight modes.
Altitude flight mode.
We're now in altitude hold. You can see there's some drift. It's still going down. My battery on my telemetry is saying it's 29%. Switching back to stabilized.
Stabilized flight mode.
Playing with some of the controls a little bit. Battery is listed at 17%. %.
Warning. Battery level low.
We've got our warning saying battery level was low at 15%. %, 11%, back up to 12%, and now we're at 10%. %.
Return flight mode. Warning. Level is critical. Altitude flight mode. Stabilized flight mode.
Well, that's it for that. What I think happened was it switched to return flight mode, which had a set altitude. So instead of trying to land immediately, it tried to go to its target altitude so it could return to its launch point, which resulted in, well. So the drone behaved in a manner I didn't expect, and so the reaction was to cycle back to the controls to try to get back to some expected behavior, and in that time, the drone got out of a good configuration and just fell to the ground. Another thing to mention was that the battery was only at about 68% when the flight started, so what we saw wasn't a real representative of a full flight duration. And some details I think I forgot at the beginning was that the battery's discharge rate is rated at 80C, and the ESC controllers are rated at 40 amps. And that about does it. Overall, it was a good first flight.